The Cadillac Escalade V is bad to the bone. I'm still not sure why they don't just call it an Escalade Blackwing. But anyways, I'll include a link to the Cadillac in Salt Lake's website in the description down below. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Zaid. I'll include a link to my car buying guide too. Let's get into it. Under the hood is a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 11 around town, 17 on the highway, with power outputs being 682 horsepower and then 653 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me out with that. I love the metallic white here with the paint on this one. You've got the split light design. At first I wasn't sold, but now I think it looks great on the Escalade. Completely blacked out grille. Look at the Cadillac emblem on this thing too. Altogether, just like every other Escalade, it is massive and in your face. Tire and wheel setup is 285 by 40 by 24. The wheels are completely blacked out. And then you get a really nice red brake caliper there. And look at the size of the rotors. Nice cuts there in the fender. You've got your giant V badge. Doesn't look big on the car, but it's big because the car is so big. And then the blacked out trim, power side steps too. And this one is the ESV, so you can take a bunch of people for a fun V8 ride. The key fob actually kind of matches the brake caliper, which is cool. You got your lock and unlock, remote start. You got the opening for the hatch and then just the window. Now in the rear, we've got an outlet. You can lower down the second row. The third row you can raise and lower with the buttons, and you've got a ton of space behind the third row with the ESV. This is why you get the ESVs. You get third row space and space behind, and if you pull the third row down, you can sleep back here. You got the giant taillights that are very vertical. Everything is blacked out here other than the Cadillac emblem, which by the way, the emblem is what opens up the rear hatch. And look how aggressive those exhaust tips are. Let's get you guys a clip. That will cap things off for the exterior. This week's giveaway is all about muscle and luxury with two Cadillac V cars. The first of which is a CT5V Blackwing and the second is an Escalade V. Both these have supercharged V8s producing nearly 700 horsepower each. They also have tons of luxury and modern technology to match. Not only can you win both of these cars, but part of the giveaway is also $73,000 in cash to help pay for the taxes, and your donations go to help children's and veterans charities. Use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. This will give you 4x bonus tickets on any donation, $25 or more. Let's now check out the interior. Lots of fancy trim with the stitching, and I do like that metallic trim and the trim piece above it. And then you've got really high quality seats perforated all down the center, nicely labeled adjustments on the side. Great legroom in the second row. You've got little storage pockets, heated seats. We have our own climate zone in the back. There's even little TVs there for the rear passengers. Now, just like a Tahoe or a Yukon, the third row is very usable even for adults, and the trim with the seats also looks nice just like the rest. There's also a little USB port you can see right there on the side. And the second row is captain chairs with this, by the way. Let's now check out the front. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Your memory seat function is there with those buttons. All of your window controls here, and then more nice trim on the door panel itself. This is a truck. It's got 1,135 pounds of payload, 7,100 pounds of towing. Speaker there in the headrest, perforated all down the center with the seat. Power adjustments on the side with lumbar support and massage function, both seats. To the left of the steering wheel, you get another V badge. You have your drive mode select. The button with the kind of arrow inside the car and outside the car, that's for the air suspension to raise and lower it, and then trailer brake controls below all of that. And by the way, this has the nice soft close doors. Lots of soft touch trim around the steering wheel. This does come with Super Cruise. You have stitching on the airbag cover, which is crazy. But yeah, Super Cruise controls right there. You get your V mode, and then we have practical controls on the other side, like your volume voice command controls, paddle shifters there on the back, and this does come with a column shifter. Digital gauge cluster here in the center on this giant screen that goes across the entire dash. But you can kind of change the information that's displayed in the formatting a bit. And then just above that, there is a heads-up display. Now, what I would consider the main part of the screen is here in the center. So backup camera, we've got a 360 camera too. And then you have the infotainment system itself. It is quick to respond with the screen itself, and this will show you a bunch of different stuff. It also comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And when I say show stuff, if we press the mode button here, for example, it'll show you the little drive modes. Man, the camera really does not want to focus on that screen because it's so dark. Other than the camera having a hard time, we do have the far side of the screen where the passenger is, and it's kind of like a secondary infotainment system in a way. But yeah, you've got a massive screen all across the entire dash. But wait, there's more, because there's another screen below that controls items like the climate control. Also, these seats, for example, you can turn on the heated and cooled seat function within this screen. So this is kind of like the practicality screen. The light controls are also built into this screen. Right next to it is a phone charging pad. You got a nice finish with the carbon fiber and the cup holders there. And then this is to control the infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen function for some reason. And then that's for the climate to turn that on and off, kind of random. And then your auto hold. The center console here in the back is massive. Wow, that's quite cavernous. It is a cool box as well. A nice trim here on the top. This does come with a camera rear view mirror, panoramic sunroof, and then of course a fancy headliner. Well, the ESV with the Onyx package doesn't come cheap. Almost $180,000. Gotta put the papers back in the glove box, and yeah, there's a button for that. Let's see how the Escalade V performs. Now this is, as they call it, a baller SUV. This thing's cool. And you know what I will say? Cadillac and other manufacturers need to understand that V8s are the way to go. I mean, you've got the new Escalade IQ. I think this is a perfect example. So that vehicle is objectively, you know, they would say better than this because it's got great power, it's electric, so you got instant power, it's a bigger vehicle, so you got more space, right? It's got a lot going for it. And yet, there are waiting lists for the Vs and the IQs. You can just go pick one up whenever you want. People want V8s, especially in like a high-end, high-performance car. People want V8s. They don't want electric. And you know, sometimes they'll accept a 6-cylinder. It's got to be a darn good one, though. It's got to be a darn good one. Now, I will give Cadillac some crap for a few things in this car. That's not one of them. That's pretty cool. Turn signal camera. That's nice in a big vehicle like this. First thing that I'll give them crap for. It only has double pane windows up front. At $170,000 basically, this should have, or what was it, 180 almost? I can't remember now. Man, goldfish brain. Anyways, it's expensive. It should have double paned all throughout the car. They got the profit margins in this thing. It should have double paned all through. Now, it's still a very insulated interior, but that would make it more insulated. Again, I can understand why they don't do that in like a Tahoe High Country, for example. But in a V like this, you gotta have double pane throughout. Now the torque that this provides, phenomenal. Now the thing about the V is, yeah, obviously you buy this partially because you can go 0 to 60 just like that, lickety split. But the other reason is so that you can just very lightly feather into the throttle, as I have been doing for this review, and you just have all that torque, just smooth power delivery. This is something that I think not enough people talk about with these high power, high performance SUVs and trucks. It's not just the top end that is very appealing, it's also the low end that's very appealing, because look at this, I can just, boom, like I'm not even 2,000 RPMs, and it's just smooth, sounds good, like it's what you want. It's what you want. And the suspension, the air suspension is fantastic. I think that General Motors has nailed air suspension comfort. The only other manufacturer that's really good with air suspension is Land Rover. Everyone else that uses it, it's not all that great. I've tested out Toyota's system, I've tested out Ram's. Ram's system's not bad, but it's just not as comfortable. I'm trying to think who else uses air suspension. Like, you know, like sometimes there'll be another luxury cars, like, you know, an Acura MDX. That system's okay, but it's not as comfortable. You know, you'll see it sometimes in the German brands too. This, and part of it could be the body on frame construction. Now that means you're not gonna have as good of handling, obviously, but in terms of just comfort and soaking up bumps, like even in the sport mode, this thing's comfortable. So quite impressive. And man, this exhaust is so nice. Just constantly making, I mean, you just constantly hear little exhaust popples, and again, I'm barely, I don't think I've gone above 2,000 RPMs once. So that's one of the cool things about it. And that would be one downside about, I guess, double pane windows all throughout, and maybe that's why they don't do it in the back, so that you can hear the exhaust a little bit better. That could be some reasoning behind that. What I will say is the Escalade interior has gotten a bit nicer. There's still a little bit of work that could be done to make this a little bit more solid feeling. And then, you know, some of the materials, like these are really nice, but you know, you get into like a Ram, for example, with like the tungsten, and that interior feels right up there with this, maybe even nicer in certain touch points. But that's kind of always been the GM thing, and I think that part of it is where they put the money. I think they've put so much money in giving this hand-built engine, and the suspension on this is so good that they're like, we only have like $5. I'm being sarcastic, but you guys get what I'm saying. They're like, we don't have that much money left over for the interior. we spent it all on the engine and the suspension. And you know what? That's the most American thing that's ever happened. We spent all the money on the engine. We don't have enough to make the interior as fancy. Oh, you know you want one. You know you want one. Such a good car. This is so fun. So the Escalade V, hopefully GM keeps this car around for a long time, because it is fast, it's fun, it's comfortable, it's practical, and it's just cool. It's just cool. Like, yeah, you can do the family car thing with a minivan. Like, that's most likely what my wife and I will do if we have enough kids. We'll get a minivan, right? That's the practical thing. But you know, some parents, they want to be cooler. They want to give their kids a fun experience. And man, this would be a family car, let me tell you.